So we're live and we're back, man.
We are back.
Instead of doing it once a month now, it's every 2 weeks.
It started off, it lasted 3 days.
Just got to give the fans what they want.
It lasted 3 days.
Before we crack into an intro, how was your weekend? What'd you do yesterday? Tell me.
I had a great weekend.
Did you?
I had a great weekend. Spent my Sunday with you. We were at MLC, putting in some GRC panels.
How much fun.
That was fun. That was fun.
It was awesome to see you in the zone.
Mate, it was good fun.
Up,
it
down,
was
left, right, boom up, boom down. It was
there was a bit of rig in there. You know what? It was just in that element there where you've got intricate panels that I know that some of the guys haven't done. And when you've got that experience and being able to just see the boys just jump in and everyone jump on board. And then we started getting some panels in. And then the second one went in quicker. And then we started just getting our mojo and our rhythm. It was awesome. It was awesome. How'd you enjoy it?
I said to you yesterday I should sell the business and come work for you. Good fun because it is intricate, and when the job's finished, it is going to be, and we can lean into that afterwards, but how hard the last couple of weeks have been for Proline. But we knew it was coming. That is by far one of the hardest things we've done. To get it to where it is, like it's putting in the panels is the easy part, and that was still hard. The documents, the sign-off, the engineering, crane work, like I've learned more in the last 2 weeks about a crane and panels and systems than I have in 12 months, honestly, and I've enjoyed being back on site. Like if I could get someone to do my job, that's where I would want to be. But we've started. We've got 3 panels up. Obviously, there's 9 really, really hard ones that we're going to try and finish Tuesday, pending weather. But what a scope.
What a scope.
What a scope.
So,
front feature of the job.
There's levels to GRC, and I've done a bit of it. This is at the high level. And we sort of had a laugh about it where it's, well, we just dive head first into the most difficult GRC
But we knew it was coming.
We knew it was coming. Yeah. We've been talking about this for a while. We did some pre-planning together, and I said to you, I've done this before. So if I can help, I will. And all the insight of just experience. You do 3-4 jobs and you learn. And I told you, it's taken me 5-6 GRC projects to get to the experience that I had over the weekend helping you and the boys of just going this, that, drop that there, rotate that there, lift it like this. And it's just reps. That's all it is. And we got jammed up a little bit. We did probably the 3 hardest panels on the job. Yeah, gee, they look good.
They look good.
They look so
good. Even
good.
Aaron, who's my senior PM, was with me day one. He's our only senior PM now, and he's our most technical operator. Drawings, technical specs. You know, he's pivotal in our business. But even he said, he was like, mate, if you weren't here, because I've been on site all week, all day, every day, all week, doing my paperwork till silly hours of the night, because he said, if you weren't here, I said, but Aaron, that's the point. You can't be a PM, run this crazy job, which he's doing an incredible job, max hours, running 5 or 6 different scopes, and then stop and do the GRC, because you'll give it half your focus. And you'll miss. Yeah. And you'll spend more time redoing stuff. So
what else will suffer if he's focusing on that?
Correct. So I said, being a company of this size now, whether it's me or Taylor or Ryan or one of the other, Carl, one of the other senior leaders, has to just be there for that scope. Now, it doesn't have to be there for 6 months, but I'll be there for a couple of weeks. 1, because I love it. 2, I want to track every screw, every second, every hour, because this is a system, it's my 3rd one, times 5 complexity compared to the other ones. But I want to price and do a lot of this work one day. But you have to be there. I'm on that job, and he's doing, 20 guys inside, outside, externals. I'm just there for that.
What'd you learn from it? Like, what'd you learn from this last 2 weeks that you will now bring with you to the next job, scope-wise, lifting-wise, probably just scenario, like the assessment of the real life on-site. This is not paperwork. This is not drawings. This is not planning. This is in the thick of it. What'd you learn most?
What I learned most is having to prepare for this a lot earlier. Now, I knew this was coming. March is one of our biggest months. Operationally, financially, it's a monster, but we knew this in November. My senior leaders, they got the warning. March and April are huge for us. Everything just kind of comes in, data centers, MLC, finishing a few big Mervac jobs. But I knew this was going to be a tricky scope. Should I have gotten into it 6 weeks ago? Yes.
Hindsight's a lovely thing, though.
Because we put the first panel in on Saturday together.
Yeah.
But I really didn't visualize putting the panel in to 100%. I always knew, but not to 100% until Monday. That's a week, you know, and I've been jammed up with engineering, and thank you to some of my team members on site, off site, my engineers, J.A. and Sons. Like,
Jace and his team were phenomenal.
They've all come to the party to help, you know, especially Capital. They have just, it's not, you know, your problem. The site team, everyone has come to help us get this off the ground and get it going. It's one of the biggest features on the job. But could I have been prepared 4 or 5 weeks earlier? 100%. Will I, 4 or 5 weeks out of my next scope, do exactly what I did this week? 100%. Myself and the team, and it's a high-risk scope. You got cranes, people. It's not lifting matchsticks on a roof.
Nah.
Mate, these are 700-kilo concrete panels above your head.
And
difficult access.
Yeah, you lose
preparation.
the access. GRC is one of those things for those who haven't done it. It's a fiberglass concrete, and it's what's GRC stand for? Glass reinforced concrete.
Yep.
So it's molded, and they are heavy, but they're also brittle. You chip easy, you crack easy. So to lift these, just to have that, I guess also that safety net of someone that's done it. That's why I loved being there and helping. But the way we planned it, we planned sucker on the front and we manipulated in. That there wasn't a go. So last minute, change the plan, adapt. And I guess that's what good operators do best. Plan A doesn't work. All right, what's plan B? We've got to pivot. We've got to pivot straight away. We had a crane crew there. We had deadlines. There was everyone there. And we had to get panels in.
Yep.
You know, you're chocking up the whole driveway. The job basically is at a stop until you get some of these panels in clear space, and it was fun doing it. Yeah, it was real fun.
Don't tell my wife, but that was as good as my wedding weekend. That's what I said to the boys. They said, don't tell her that.
Yeah, maybe. Jim,
maybe not.
Jim, cut that one, mate. Cut that one, Jim.
Heaps of fun.
It was good fun.
So, how's the response of doing the podcast? This is our second episode.
Second episode.
We've had some kick-ass responses.
Yeah, it's been good. And thank you to everyone that has watched it, that's shared it, that's been part of this journey. So those who haven't, if you can, like, subscribe, rate, review, thumbs up, all the fun stuff.
Give it to us, man.
Blow it right up, please. Blow it up. All the feedback's been awesome. I think the one thing that I've really, I've had a laugh with, walking into some places like, hey, the podcast guy. I'm like, who's that? This guy. Yeah. So that's been fun. But also just, I think a couple of guys are just like, you guys just talked, you had fun, and I really enjoyed doing it. More than anything, I had as much fun doing this as anything I've done in so long. I walked away on such a high. And I think it goes back to, we're so passionate about what we do. Yeah. We love this. And I think I get an opportunity now with yourself to just be able to talk about what we do and what we love. And the enjoyment I had walking away from just talking a bit of smack with one of my closest mates about what we do every single day and what we think about. It was just fun. It was fun.
It was good fun.
How'd you feel?
There was one awesome comment. So Braden Padmore, who's one of our site leading hands, pushing for site manager, good friend of ours. We've grown up with him. He goes, mate, I thought it was going to sound like the speech you did at Taylor's wedding. Goes, thank God you've progressed since then, because that was trash.
That wasn't your best speech, I'll tell you what. Josh Gorry can definitely put a speech together. He's 2 for 2 at the weddings.
Smoked me. But Pads he's a podcaster. And he actually said know that. He loves it. Not does, but he listens religiously. And he was pretty supportive and said,
well, he corked the front door of 555, so he would love that.
He was the one on the
sausage gun. He was the one on the gun.
Yeah, so that's two plugs. I'll make sure I get an invoice from him.
Yeah, that's it.
But it was good fun. I mean, walking into Melton Hospital was fun.
It was.
Seeing all the boys, we were doing that site team with Di and Spiro again. They were there for my first big commercial job, and then talking about my biggest one being Melton in a size and design perspective. But walking the site, we had to go and see the site.
Yeah.
But having a few good laughs with the team, and like you said, seeing people, I have to plug Adele here. Had a coffee with him and he said, you send me this broadcast.
I said, I see your friend. Send me broadcast.
I said, Adele, it's a podcast.
It's a podcast.
But nevertheless, I mean, they were pretty.
The older heads loved it. Older heads loved it. I think I love that as well. Even walking into Melton, Robbie Dragovic, one of the top dog safety for Lend Lease, and like funny round circle. Robbie worked with Jono and Danny back in the day for All Fix putting in facade. So he knows the window game as good as anyone. And Robbie goes, mate, open my phone up and having a bit of a scroll and see your two heads on there. Like, who the hell are these two talking about facades?
These two peanuts going to put
these
this
two. So that was fun.
But it's good to have a bit of fun.
It
and then
was.
still get to site and game mode.
Do your bit.
And we turn it on.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
we go business mode.
This is just the fun part of it.
Yeah, that's
And you know what? We're going to cop some smack about it. I don't mind copping smack.
You know what I'm going to enjoy though? Like taking people on the process of the Northeast Link and Melton Hospital and every couple of weeks talking, how are you going on that job? You know, well, we start in 4 weeks and 6 weeks. What are the challenges?
The journey.
What are the good things? What are the bad things? Team, like that's what I love.
Well, let's talk Melton because we were just there and talk about journey. Let's get into explaining this to people. That is the biggest construction site I've stepped on in my 19 years in the game.
Footprint wise,
she's
a monster. There'll be 50 crane crew when she's up and going.
The perspective I got from just visualizing, and that goes back, I guess, to you can look at all the drawings, you look at plans, you look at models, and you look at everything. Wow, putting boots on the ground.
And we've obviously we train with Big Shawnee Buys on a Sunday morning, and he's a tower driver for I&D. So we get a couple of good photos and aerial shots from the big man himself, and actually seeing it from that view. Different story walking at a ground level and seeing this massive hospital, but you're seeing it, you know, what are they, 30, 40 metres up in the air?
Yeah, the
and
bird's
actually seeing the sheer volume, the amount of gear going in a day is, it's crazy. I'm so looking forward to ripping into this job.
Yep.
Going
to be
spend
super
6,
impressive.
12 months pricing it, getting it right, designing it, you know, you visualise it. A bit like the GRC, it's here before you know it.
Yeah.
You know, so you start to take these steps and go, okay, well, the GRC caught me by surprise by 5 weeks. Melton's not. I've got timelines and we're learning and growing and myself and Claudio are getting much, much better at, you know, putting the targets and working backwards. And that's something I've learnt being around tier 1 builders. Do your end date and work backwards from that. And that's what we're starting to see from
Goes back to, like, there's a military saying that I've heard on a podcast before. I think it comes from Nick Bear's podcast. And he said it's a military thing where they or forward projecting, backwards planning. Mm-hmm. So they project forward where their end date's got to be, and then they backwards plan from there. And that's exactly what you're saying. You got to project forward of where you think you're going to be or what that line's going to be where you get to, and then backwards plan up to it. So you set the date, you set the goal, and then you start coming backwards and go, all right, what are the steps in between? What are the check marks I've got to get to? 2 weeks out, then 4 weeks out, then 6 weeks, so on, to get you to that plan. And I think that's a really good structure to have because you've got the build up to it. You can't let it take you by surprise, especially on such a big scale project. And to be honest, some things still will. You can't till you're there and you've got the material and you've got the landscape and you can touch it, feel it, see it. There's going to be so many variables on site. But if you do all the pre-works as best you can, that's all you can do.
From our side of things, design and fabrication is something that we're targeting straight away. Obviously, our install is at a later date. We're still looking at it, but how do you go? I mean, what's your day one look like when you hit the ground running?
So day one normally starts for our management team. It'll start a little bit earlier. We'll be on site starting the planning, and we'll get boots on the ground. Day one with resources is a little bit different. We need a bit of land, we need a bit of real estate to really get some stuff in. So we start on day one and it's visualizing initially. It's the first area that we're going to hit. It's the first area that typically will get stripped from structure. And we'll go, all right, this is the first procurement. This is stage one. We go there and visualize. That's the first thing we do. Visualize where we're going to set our crane up, where we're going to get material loaded to, what obstructions we can see, just everything that we want to visually see how we're going to put it together. And I think getting the team there earlier, I know some people in the industry that I've worked with, they're really against getting there too early. It's a fine line. I think you've got to get there early enough to start having some presence on the job. The structure team sees window boys, all right, the next trade's coming. Means we've got to clean up our little bit for them. Same as when we see the next trade coming behind us, we go, all right, we're getting nudged a little bit. So we start off initially, we've got all of our drawings ready to go. We've got a plan in place of what we need to deliver first, what we need to get material-wise. We've got a massive setup. Like our setup, cranes, trolleys, dollies, the whole works. And it's organising the semi-loads of gear to get that stuff there. I like to establish initially a bit of a setup, a compound, we'll call it. Site office, compound, storage area, and we just start mapping it out. I mean, you've been to some of our site offices.
Well, I build all my site offices based on yours. It's a setup. It's all preparation. Yep.
Yeah. So we will typically do a fridge panel office and
magnets and whiteboards.
Magnets and whiteboards everywhere.
See.
And where that stemmed from, that's something that I brought into the company. I think it would have been when I started in management. Like we'd always have the setup of what guys were doing, but then I just remember from playing sport and playing footy, the magnets on the board. So we've got all of our team leaders, our team members, our apprentices, and every single task we've got magnetized. So it's like a footy board. You've got everything up on the board. You've got location, works, guys that are on that team. And that there's initially our setup. We've then got our 2-week look ahead. We've got all of our SOPs, all of our swims pinned up on the board for everyone to visualize. And that office, that compound, that sets up the job for us. We've got permit boards. We've got everything. When you walk into the site office, I want someone who comes in there to be able to just realize, like, if I actually analyze this, I can know everything that's happening every single day. And I think that's the big pre-planning part that we've established, and I think it's grown legs. It's something that, wow, when you don't have it, you really notice it.
It's hard. For us, it's the same thing. The compound.
Yeah.
I'll use Albert Fields I'll use it as an example going forward.
Yep.
Now a little bit earlier, but Proline is we muscle into the job and get the wheels turning because what I've seen over the years, and I study other companies and what they do, and it's always, we'll wait to start, we'll wait, and I just opposite. I want to muscle in. I want to be putting top hats on top of plasterers' heads as they're framing walls.
Yeah, push the
to
job.
a degree. Push the job. Get a leg up on our scope. Why not? So we probably started 4 weeks earlier than we should have on Albert Fields, but we had battens on within 2 weeks, meaning we're 2 weeks ahead. And it got a leg up on the job. Now, obviously, I talk about Slack a lot. It's like WhatsApp on steroids. It breaks the job down from a design, engineering, contract, site team, ITPs, everything. It's just got broken down. Because I'm designing Melton Hospital now with the team in SRG, my project manager, Ryan, who does our biggest jobs, he does the big ones. He's in there early, so he's already looking, just filtering through design, the changes, and he's got an idea of what he's going to do 4 or 5 months before. Where I didn't always do that. It was always wait to get on the job and, we're too busy, we need him here and just wait. And then you're on the back foot straight away. So doing that earlier, getting the PM, choosing one, whether it changes or not, we know it changes, it's a volatile, it is what it is, but getting them involved early to start to see it. So then when we do get boots on the ground, make a compound like we do now on these big jobs, and ours is being cladding, wall set outs, colour codes, wall types, what types of battens, that on all the walls, having a printer and a laminator and folders inside. Big time. So what Ryan did with Albert Fields, 3 buildings, he essentially had 3 or 4 site managers, had a couple of the older heads on different areas. He'd just be printing out, here's a wall type, here's a set out, here's what you're doing, and just daily. And that little thing of just having, your colour-coded floor plan and an elevation in a spot, and you could just print them out at a regular occurrence whenever you needed to. Massive help.
Where'd you figure that out though? Like you sit there and go, just color code and this and that, and we just had printed drawings. Is that something that you just realized through your journey, that a bit of trial and error, and what's going to help me do the job?
It's experience on the way. We have learned that because every job now, most jobs now, a DNC, design and construct, they change on the fly. By the time we sign the job, to the time we start the job, we're at revision 75. And the colour-coded set-out plan we got from our estimators. So when we were first building the business, and I say this to a lot of young people, you outsource it or you contract it where you need to. Whatever you can't do yourself, you contract it until you're paying way too much money for contractors, you bring in someone full-time, i.e. if you need an estimator at $1,000 a week, if you're starting to spend $1,500, $2,000 a week on average over 4 weeks, you now need an estimator.
Numbers don't crunch.
So going through the process of cladding this building where it didn't need cladding because it did on revision 1 and not doing over here, having the colour-coded markups now mean if the boys have got a plan, that's what we're signed up to. If the plans now change and they're doing different walls, one, it's a massive indicator that, hey, we need to have a chat, plans have changed, scope's changed, straight back to the office, and it raises a design change or a variation or whatever it is to the job. But learning that over the process of learning the markups and not having information, and then trial and error, doing one, having Ryan on site going, mate, I need more information than this isn't working, and you just dive in together. And that was really the first big job we set at Compound. We did colour-coded markups. We had one of the senior PMs of Mervac do a site walk, and he popped in the office and he was like, who are these guys? You know, had to put on a show. It was our first big one. But then you have a look at the numbers, look at the productivity, look at the efficiency. We never put the wrong panel on the wrong wall. We couldn't because there's that much information to show the boys and the team why. So yeah, trial and error, and then you build a system, you see what works. If it doesn't work, throw it in the bin, move on, move fast. Because I do 1,000 new things every day and the office probably go, what is he on about again? But I'm not scared to have a crack. 10 things are shit, throw it in the bin, go for the 11th.
Find the one that works.
The 11th hits.
Find the one that works.
So
it's funny you say that. So years ago, 10, 12, something like that, is Contract Glass. Huge supplier Australia-wide. I think now they've shut down operations, but when I started, they were number one. Mate, every single high-rise in the city was a Contract Glass facade. They'd do local supply. They had local installers, local glaziers. This was back in the day where we would put in window frames only, and you'd still have site glaziers, so not pre-glazed, and they would glaze on site. So now the process is everything's prefabbed, it comes glazed, it comes unitized, and the installer will just put that in. So basically, when I started, it was frame only. And there was another trade, which was a glazier. They had their full glazing team on site and site glaze it.
Yep.
So Contract Glass, they had a massive production line, their factory, their design team, and one of their senior PMs, I don't know if Cole ended up being ops manager or general or something like that, but Colin Palmer, he was ahead of his time in a big way. And he taught all of us so much. Ruthless. He was a ruthless man, but very, very knowledgeable. And Cole used to do these drawing packs. And it was funny because at the time I thought it was standard. He'd have floor plans with markups. He'd then have just the details related to that area. So like area packs. Yeah. On that northeast elevation of level 1, this is your elevation, this is your floor plan, and these are all the details just for that. So it didn't confuse you with the big book of shop drawings and install drawings and so on. He extracted that for you.
Crazy.
And Cole was so good. We're talking, like I said, 10 years ago, we would have, when we got to work, he'd get there at 5:30. He'd make sure he was there before anyone else. He'd have it printed off, marked up, ready to go, Daniel, there's your pack. And you'd sit there and
nice.
we took it for granted. Then you start seeing how things turn to shit. Because things turn to shit when you don't have all that info. You're dragging this, I need that, scramble mode. And how I learnt that was going, I've seen that work. I've got to come back to basics. I started setting those packs up for people.
Yep.
And I seen it work. I was like, when you've got everything laid out, so you don't have to think sometimes. And a famous saying that one of the seniors told me, he's like, you got to set it up so the boys need to trip over it. Literally put the information and work in front of the boys so they've got to trip over it. So basically, they cannot mess it up. Cannot mess it up.
We call it the Proline Lego set.
The Lego set. I like that one.
We call it the Lego set. It's taken us about 2 years to get our Lego set to where it needs to be, but we will do our own shop drawings to the client, and then we will try and overdraw them. So it's a step-by-step on what screw to put in what. So we call it the Lego set standard. I use my resources and I always ask for help, and I did. And I got 5 or 6 sets of some of the biggest cladders and facade companies, some of their sets of shop drawings, full sets, like big jobs, big players. And I picked the best thing out of all the sets. I made my own Lego set document with Claude. and then gave it to our team. And now we've got a standards. We've got Jericho in here, who is, he used to work for Inhabit, 25 years in the game, Facade. He would have drawn 1,000 panels you've put on before, guaranteed. He's our drafting standards lead, and he makes sure now that all of our drafting team adhere to those standards. They're set up the same, colour-coded marks, 3D areas attached to details. So my junior foreman, I try to create the Lego set so a junior foreman could look at the set and learn what he was putting in. He knows what screw, what top hats, what fixings, everything on a page. And I did a review of a set that the team did on Friday, and amazing. When you see them, I think it was about 35 pages, a smaller job, not a smaller job, a decent size, couple thousand squares for construct. But there were still 4 drawings on each page. I said, extend it. Big drawings, big page, A3, print 10 sets so my whole site team can see it. But the young guys can learn. You can read it. If that's orange, you know what code it is, what panel it is, how thick it is, and color code different
Simple
details.
Simple stuff, visuals. We're visual learners.
Make it the Lego set.
Yeah, if you're in a trade.
It's taken a couple of years to get there, but it's there now. Now we're trying to take that to tier 1, which is hard.
But it still works. The system still works. And it goes back to, like I was just saying, we're visual learners. If you're in a trade, most people are visual learners. You need to see it, touch it, feel it. It's very hard to go, we'll go from a write-up or descriptive of words. We need to be able to visualize it, and you got to have it in front of you. So color coding helps. Pictures help. We call them cartoons. The cartoons help.
The 3D from the 3D, model.
Yeah, that helps. All that stuff just to make it easier so that, yes, some people can just see it. Some people have got that. Like we were talking about it yesterday. Yeah. I think you or Big Steelos asked me, I go, I can just see it. I knew where to rig it up. I knew where to shorten the chains.
It's experience.
It's experience, but some of it you just visualize. And he's like, but how'd you know that? I said, I don't know.
But you pull that out of your subconscious. You would have done it wrong 100 times to get it right. And now you can visualize
and it's just,
it.
Yeah.
You've always got the visualizing talent, right? That's why you are where you are. But it's from experience. So just moving on past that didn't work. Quick, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, move on. Bang.
Yeah, we did that a few times. Worked it. No, didn't work. Back it off. Well, worked it. Didn't work. Back it off. But if we sat there cracking the sheets, we still have a paddle on the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Trial and error very fast.
Yes.
Again, rapid feedback to yourself. That doesn't work. Go again. I love that.
So moving on to the next one, we've mentioned a few guys. I want to talk some team spotlight today, and I want to highlight a couple team members and just some examples of how they're going, what you value in them, where improvement's been in some of the team, and just give some recognition for some of your team members. So is there anyone, I mean, you mentioned Ryan, and you've mentioned Ryan a bit to me privately. Tell me about Ryan's journey. Give me a bit of team spotlight and tell everyone about Ryan's journey with you.
Well, Ryan was half Australia has seen the video of us cutting the paddle in half, the Kings fan paddle. Yeah. You see the photo of the little van down the bottom?
Yeah.
That was me and Ryan in the van, 7 or 8 years ago. I grew up with Ryan, one of my best mates, and now he's one of 2 on-site general managers. Him and my brother Taylor, who's the other one. When we started the EBA, obviously myself and Ryan worked together for ARC when we were 15. Started my apprenticeship, but then worked for ARC when I was about 17, 18. Ryan started when we got our EBA and we started going fully commercial. Ryan started that. So he, his first one was, big one for Proline was Melton Hospital. He started the crew and we just built and built and built. And then Taylor kind of built up the non-EBA and now it's all kind of fused into one big company. He does our biggest jobs. The biggest, the hardest. He's cool, calm, collected, gets the most out of the team. He'll run jobs with 20, 30, 40 guys. Fine. Obviously, it's been a journey. Me and him, we're on the tools every single day. It's like having another one of me. Every decision I make, he makes. It's the same. He's got the best saying. He goes, "If you're on my job, I'm not doing a good job." So, and it's true.
Very
Albert
true.
Fields, the last 6 months, I'll just go there to say hello. We talk strategy on the phone, and obviously Melton will be a big one because it's going to set us up. But he's ready for it. He's cool, calm, and collected. He doesn't get overrushed by the builder. He knows how fast he's Mervac, Capital, Lendlease. He's delivered on the biggest stage for us for the couple of jobs we've delivered. We haven't delivered heaps, but we've delivered a couple, and he's ran those.
What separates Ryan? I mean, Ryan, I know you said cool, calm, collected. He's done some big jobs. What separates him? Is it his preparation? It is organisation? What makes him the leader he is that you highly value?
A bit of everything. He's unbelievable at a lot of things. Now, my leadership on-site structure goes in 4 forms. Ryan does the biggest, baddest jobs because he can handle the pressure and he's very technical and he's been there from the start, meaning he's solved every problem, right? Then you've got Aaron, his brother, who's my senior PM. He's the most technical one. RLs, grid lines, visualising it, brings the young talent up, brings the team. He's the visionary, right? He wants to see the business succeed in 10 years. Then you've got my brother, the tornado. If you need,
I love you, brother.
If you need panels on a wall faster than anyone in the country, this is your man.
Taylor Gorry's the man.
He teaches people how to work. He'll grab a team of 10, make it look like a team of 30. It's his fast brain kicking in. He goes to the bulk. He's done the defence centre the last week, and he's literally wrapped this building in 5 days, where it would take anyone else 4 weeks. And it's not. He just is the definition of muscling his way in. Let's go. Until we get stopped, we go. We do it right. We do it safe, but we get in and we have a crack. But he brings everyone with you. There's no one's flat-footed. We work.
Yeah.
We don't run and scream and do it dangerous, but we just consistently move. And when you can get 10 people on one job moving 90% one way, it compounds hour after hour. And it gets to the end of the day, and you force flow. It's on my wall. Force flow. Flow is fast, and fast is money. That's how it's made.
But that makes a great leader. A great leader is someone that can drag 4 or 5 guys across and make it feel like you got 10 there.
Yep.
Why? Because no one's flat-footed. Everyone's got what they need. I need you to grab that. I need you to grab that. Clear that area. Call the builder. That's going to be in the way. I need that permit. I need this. Yep. And you're orchestrating everything. You are navigating everything. Yep. So you've got 4 or 5 guys that are ready to go. Yep. They're ready. Yep. What do you need? What do you need? And you are just
picking and choosing. You there. Grab this. Grab that.
That is the definition of a true leader to me, boots on the ground leader.
Yeah, that's his strength. His strength is full gas, go.
Yeah.
And he's I'm giving him the North East link. That's his job from start to finish. I want him to deliver a tier 1 job because it's very hard to start and finish and deliver a tier 1 job. Proline's only got a couple in your hand. They're big jobs.
Great experience.
Delivering a job means start to finish with a green tick. There's no good finishing a job going backwards financially. That isn't successful. And then we've got Carl. Carl's one of your ex-workers. We're calling him Mr. Data Center. He's it suits him perfect.
Rapid fire Carl.
He is fast-paced, gets on with everyone, gets a bit hot and emotional because he loves his job. He loves the team.
High energy personality.
High energy. Yeah. So for a hyperscale data center, that is Carl, bread and butter. So we try and wrap people up for their strengths, Tail at the moment, defence centre and on the weekend, MLC. We need to hit this scope hard, PCs in 3 weeks, bring the tornado in.
Who does that for Proline? Who sits there and says, that scale job, I need that personnel? Or is it just, this person's free, they've finished their job, they roll into the next one?
It's exactly what I'm saying. In this group, so our last one, Chris, being our head of roofing, is starting our roofing division. We've got 7 or 8 full-time roofers now. We don't want to take over the game. We just do one roof at a time for our key clients only. They're decent-sized jobs, but we do one, we do it well, we tick it off, we go to the next one. So Chris is building his crew very nicely, and one day that will stand alone and do its own things. But those key guys there, as well as Claudio running our offsite, those are 6 or 7. I just recently learned a saying from Johnny Marrett at Capital Group. What's best for the business? And as soon as you say that, is this best for the business? Yes or no? That's put your ego here, put your emotion here. Is it best for the business? Yes, we do that.
Straight down the line.
So if someone doesn't make a decision, we need to go there. No, that's not right. And it's not best for the business. Ego's in the way and I'll sort that out swiftly. That doesn't happen. There's 7 or 8 of us in that group. There's just a text message group. There's a few Slack groups and bits and pieces, but we try and build the younger leaders up. We make that decision. Who goes where, when they go. If someone's at a job too long, and the emotions starting to drive in, because that does happen. It happens all the time. If someone's on a job 6, 7, 8, 9 months, we just swap them around, get some fresh legs in. It's good for the job. It's good for the business. It's good for the client.
Fresh set of eyes.
And we're mate, everyone in the business, no one's got an ego. So Taylor will help Aaron will help Ryan. No one cares. If the business needs a chop out, if they need 5 of us on one job, mind you, it's going to cost me a stupid amount of money. But if we need to make that decision, we'll do it collectively. I'm trying to build a business where there's not one bloke pulling the lever, which you have to do that to keep it going one way. But there's a few different leaders, and we can challenge me. The guys challenge me all the time. You know,
but that's healthy.
It's great.
That's healthy.
Yep, it's great. So that leadership team, I tell them what jobs are coming up, what we're pricing, what we're going for, how we're going on the projects, which ones are no good, which ones are great, and I bring them on the journey, good and bad. That's one thing I'll always do.
And
if we have a good month, I'll let the boys know. If we're in the poo, guys,
you'll let them know
I need
as well.
you.
They have to know.
In the month of March, I told the team it's going to be busy. I sent them that group a message on Friday night saying, you guys are genuinely blowing me away. You know, I've been at MLS. I've been in the fab shop, as you know, rebuilding the systems, and this is going great. But I've been on MLC helping with the GRC, and the other jobs are not just going well; they are airborne. Carl has got the data center singing. It's incredible. Carl and Dylan, his young site manager who he's training, and Chris have got this job flying. Both of my brothers out at the data center, putting up 30, 40, 50 panels a day after day to get that job. Apparently, the contract date was next Saturday. I was, you're not going to make it. Taylor, watch me.
Watch me. That's one thing.
How he is, yeah?
That's one thing you don't tell Tay. You're not going to get there.
Correct. So they've genuinely blown me away this month, and I let them know. You know, I've booked a lunch for 4 weeks for us. I wrote in the calendar, long fucking lunch.
Long lunch.
We'll get there at 1 o'clock and just say, it's 4 weeks. We've still got a crazy 4 weeks. We've got a few targets to hit before Easter, a couple after.
Yep.
But that puts this company in a great spot after April, financially, operationally, ready for a few big scopes. And we knock a few jobs off for our biggest client.
Helps build a bit of company confidence too.
Well, I mean, I don't think we need to build it more for some of our clients because we couldn't run any faster. But it's just recognition of,
But it's good. It's a good feeling. It's a
Yep.
good feeling ticking that box. It got simple stuff. Like we all get that recognition of just doing our job and doing it well.
Yep.
But then when you get the team together and you go, hey guys, we've all had a red hot crack, and you know when you're having a crack.
Yep.
Everyone knows when they're putting in big hours. Everyone knows when they're putting in big days.
Yep.
Everyone knows when they're just going. And then to have that recognition and come together and go, boys, great effort.
Well, I'm in a message with both of my brothers, and we were all on site yesterday, hanging JSC. The 3 Gorry boys. It was fun with you.
4 Gorry boys. Yeah.
4 Gorry boys.
According to your mum. Yeah.
Well, it was Boxing Day. 4 Gorry boys. But they messaged this morning saying, like, how good is this? And I said, well, 20 of my guys this week have clocked over 70, 80 hours. So
big weeks.
Our wages are through the roof, but everyone's making $1. And I said to him, well, as long as you guys are making a bit of bread, we're right. And they said, the bread's the last thing on our mind, And Taylor goes, the industry knows we are fucking Terminators.
We don't stop.
I said, they knew that 6 months ago, brother, but let's rock and roll.
I love that. But, we've crossed guys a little bit where just flow of work.
How good's that for us?
Yeah, I've been able to, we've run a little bit short of work at times, and I've said, hey, I've got some guys freeing up. You've been able to grab them seamlessly, and then vice versa. And, gee, some of the feedback from the guys, we're talking Tay right now. I've had, one of the boys that's been with me for a very long time since day one of my good friends, Matty Papa. He had some time with you boys. He's worked with all of us on the tools from day one. And I'm talking myself, I'm talking Danny, Jono, Steve, the lot of us. And he said, mate, I tell you what, Taylor Gorry has got to be up there with the best worker I have ever worked with. And I question that because he's worked with me. And I question that big time.
There's one bit of ego trying to shake him off my back saying, hey, I was the best here, but it's getting harder every day. He's putting runs on the board.
And he explained it to me. He said, mate, the way that man can just drag everyone along and his thought process so quick, just so quick. Next. Mate, that's some good stuff. I love hearing that. I love hearing that.
So... that's my on-site Team leaders.
Yep.
Fire away with some of yours. Current,
Mate.
past, whatever.
Current past, look, you know, one of my team leaders who I definitely don't give him as much recognition as what he deserves. He's my guy, Chompers.
The job.
The Chomp. Look, Steve is, in my view, Steve's your Ryan to me. He is so calm and controlled. He's got a bit of a hot head every now and then, but Steve's just a problem solver. And when you talk about someone who can just visualize everything, I've never worked with anyone who's just so good at seeing things unfold well and truly ahead of time. He can plan 2 to 3 weeks out in his head and he will not be far off it. And when you talk about nothing being a problem, that is, to me, the definition of a great leader as well as a great person. On site, when you've got someone, nothing's a problem and there is nothing too hard, nothing too difficult. Steve looks at everything and goes, I can solve that. I can solve that. It'll be right. Leave it to me. He has ran 100 Franklin Street. I'd say if you could get a 10 out of 10 job, it's very, very close to 10 out of 10. From go to woe, the exceptional effort him and the team have done there. And it's driven by Steve's leadership. Steve is a phenomenal leader and he is on the floor with the boys a lot of the time. He'll do his pre-planning on the way to work. He'll get in early. He'll make sure that he's got everything ready. He wants to spend 90% of his day with the boys. Why? Because he knows if he's on the front line, he can navigate and problem solve. Steve has dominated that job. When I say from the start to finish, it has been across the board one of our most successfully seamless jobs, just because I feel like I go there just to see him because I miss the guy. More than anything, I miss seeing him.
Just to give him a hug. That's the same. I haven't seen Ryan in 6 weeks. I haven't seen him in 6 weeks to get the girls to turn up at dinner.
Steve and I started with, we had a job, a multis job, and oh, gee, it was the best. The recruiting of Complex back in the day. So ended up Griggy, my mate Nick Grigg. I was trying to get him on board at footy training. I'm like, come across. Hadn't been paid for a bit. This is about 12, 13 years ago. I was doing some subby work. I said, mate, jump on board with us. Ended up, Stevie Considine was working with him. They were doing plastering, just stud work. And he goes, mate, just brain dead work. He goes, it's ticking along, but I'm real worried about this facade. It's real tricky and intricate. Steve had done facade before, worked for Monesco back in the day. So
did he really?
He did. Stevie started with Monesco.
Another one that Monesco just tainted with their
crop
awesome
from
brush.
Monesco.
Yeah, it's the best.
Gee, some of the best to come through that business.
Everyone's had a crack at 'em.
Everyone. So, we hadn't done much curtain wall and my old man rings me, goes, I've got a curtain wall specialist for you. I'm like, when I hear the word specialist, I'm like,
show me.
Here we go. Here we go. Rolling my eyes, I'm like, sure, John.
Yeah.
He goes, I've got a curtain wall specialist for you. Gee, was he right? He nailed this one. Yeah. Look, Stevie come in and he came into an absolute shit show. It was deadline. It was a multis job. We had intricate areas. We were doing an atrium curtain wall and it was scaff, it was rigging, it was all stuff we hadn't really done much of. And he come in and he's just like, oh shit.
This is insane.
This is nuts. Yeah, he had an inexperienced team. He walked in day 2. Mind you, back in the day, we had never had a brand new toolkit given to anyone. It was all the hand-me-downs and started off that the bosses would get the new stuff. Then they'd give the 6-month-old set to the next person, so on. Day 2, Stevie walks in with a brand new Milwaukee kit.
Target on the back.
Straight up, 2 bags, the big 6'3", big Stevie. He had his long hair back then and he's walked in with his new kit and he's just put his head down and gee, did he cop it. He copped some stick for that.
It's like walking in with new boots.
Yeah.
Someone dirties them up.
Talk about big days. We worked nearly, I think it was a month out to Christmas. We worked every day leading up to Christmas and they were big days. They were 12s, they were 14s. We had to hit the deadline. Mate, honestly, from that moment on, Steve and I just got along. We then went on to do warm ponds together. which was Epworth Hospital for Maltese. And that was a Uanda Maltese project. Uanda supplied the facade. Mate, it was a massive job. And Steve then hopped with me, and together we just went job to job to job. I did a stint in Queensland, and Steve rang me and said, it was funny. Steve's not an emotional guy. Steve, little emotion as possible.
Straight down the line.
He goes, if you don't come back to Melbourne, I'm fucking leaving.
All right, I'll come back.
All right, I'll come back. So it worked out that it ended up coming back. I winched him in. There's many people that will come up to me and say, I want to be a leader. I want this, I want that. And they're the ones I'm super reluctant to put into leadership, because it's normally that there's a want from probably the wrong avenue. It's a financial want. Because when I do ask that question, well, why do you want to be in leadership? They can't give me a straight answer. Steve was just a natural leader. And I had to beg him to step into leadership with me. I'm like, Steve, it'll be you and me. He's like, oh, mate, I've done it before. I was bad. And I said, mate, leave it with me. I said, you'll be with me. I'll look after the headache stuff. You just do your bit. And mate, was it a test when I said, hey, you're coming with me to 108? That's your first baby.
So you had to drag him as a leader to show him what he didn't know, type thing.
Oh, mate, he knew it all. He knew it all.
Good.
He knew it all.
I only say that because what's happened with one of mine.
I had to drag him so he could show everyone else what he knew. Yeah. Steve knew.
Good.
He's always been phenomenal. And he's the one person, when you say, fuck, I'm in trouble and I need to, if I ever had to put someone somewhere to get me out of a jam, my first point of call is Steve, just because he knows every way that I would want something done. And we've had that much time together that I know that he will replicate and probably do better than I would.
Yep.
Won't say that about many people, but mate, to me, Steve has been the leader that I've grown because of Steve's leadership. And I think we've been able to prop each other up. So, yeah, it's just an awesome journey. His son's now with us, Flynn.
Yeah, how good.
Doing his apprenticeship.
Yeah.
And
You're on 4 generations now.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
so good.
we've got 3 generations off one of my other foremen. So Dan Sip, just an absolute weapon.
Sipper.
I love Sipper. Honestly, he is just country boy. He, again, started from the crop of wasn't getting paid. We're working on site together. Had a visual of, mate, these guys are hard workers. His old man, Fossil, Craig, he still is, animal, out with us at Y7. He said to me, I want to be the first retired employee at Complex.
Yeah, good.
And I said, mate, not a problem. We will get you there by hook or crook, whatever path Foss wants to get us to his retirement. And if it goes from 6 days to 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1 to just coming in the morning, however Foss wants to retire, he's got my blessing, and I told him that. And we've now got 3 generations of Sipthorpes.
Yep, yeah, good.
Danny's young son, Jackson, doing his apprenticeship with us. He's out at Y7 working with Foss. It's just amazing. Honestly,
that's fun. I've tried to hire Taylor's boy Levi. He's 18 months old. Apparently, you're not allowed to.
Hey. Levi's got big shoes to fill.
Yeah,
we've propped him up already.
I know.
He was born and we said, kid, you're going to do 2 things.
Yeah.
You're putting in windows with your Uncle Litz.
Yeah, that's
Or
right.
you're putting in cladding
exactly
with your
right.
2 other
He doesn't
uncles and your dad.
he doesn't.
There's not much
The reason
choice.
why I said leadership, I've got my other project manager, Rizza, who we all know very well. He managed projects for other companies. He had a good one, bad one, and he's doing a massive one at the moment for us, Assemble, with Capital Group. And he was a bit and at the start.
I remember. He wasn't sure.
He wasn't sure that he wanted to. And fucking bag of beans, Riz. Like, he's a psychopath. Runs around the job and pulls the job along. He's the epitome of what Proline stands for. Drag not just him, not just Proline, but the whole job with him. An amazing leader. But was like, I'll be one, I don't want to be one, and I think this job has, at the moment, it's not a success yet. It's halfway through, but where we started to where we're at, the data's trending upwards. It's a new scope. We're doing balustrades, and and he brings his whole team. He brings his emotion with him. But I think this job will be the one that shows him, hey, this is what I want to do. I want to lead. So it was just, because you said that before.
I remember
First
the
time it's
combos.
happened for me.
Yeah.
And I'm still a young person trying to work out how leadership
I
go,
remember you were on the phone at Riz, we were together, and you were trying to get him on board, and we had a few combos.
Took me 3 years to get him on board.
Took you a while to
with
get him
Proline.
across.
Yep.
But then the other day
Loyalty,
we're in the car together. Oh, yeah, definitely. Didn't want
loyal
to
as a
leave.
Labrador.
Yep. Hearing Riz on the phone to you, mate, you can just, his energy and passion,
Amped.
it just screamed through the phone.
Yep.
And it G'd me up, to be honest. I love
Yeah,
that.
but our clients, like he does capital jobs, fast paced. Let's go. It suits the client. It suits him. They love him
Yeah.
because
Fit for personnel. Fit
Nothing's
for the
too
personnel,
hard.
yeah.
Can you do it? Yes, we can do it. Yes, right now. Do you want to order it now? And
So what are the traits? I mean, we've rattled off a few leaders. What do you think the traits are of a good leader, or even just a good on-site team member? What are the personality traits? What are the values? What are the non-negotiables that you need to have? The intangibles that you think personally make a good leader, or do you need a mix of all of them?
the best ones have a mix of all of them. That's guaranteed. But you can lack in one and have a lot of another. But you just need, I think one is having long-term vision, and that is a tree in itself, because long-term vision means you need to put product on, we need to make $1, but we need to teach young people, we need to be safe, we need to protect the culture, protect the brand. We don't take shortcuts, we move fast and we get over things fast. But protecting that brand, training the new guys.
So that's
and
hard, mate. You've just rattled off 6-7 things. That's a
But
lot to wrap up.
But it's all buried under
do you
one.
teach that, or what?
I think people have naturally got a little bit, and some people got a lot more. I.e., Aaron is the long term. But it's experience. Where Proline is now versus where it was 2 years ago is completely different now, and that all stems from how I speak, what I do. We're not a dollars and cents company. We want to be here forever. So that has to come from somewhere. But everyone just gets better and better. And like I said before, they've blown me away. The whole company has lifted because the top 10 leaders have lifted because we're protecting the brand. These guys don't have to do these crazy hours. They don't have to push the jobs. Mm-hmm. They'll still get paid. But they're doing it because they can see a future. They can see something. We're building something. We're making noise in the industry.
But they're bringing some serious value to the company. And I think they all love doing it. From an outsider looking in, being at multiple Gorry weddings, multiple Gorry engagements, Gorry parties. I've been to all of them and I've witnessed.
Half the company's there.
Family there. There is a family. And when I say that, I mean that truly. Mate, these boys love you and your family and you love them. As much as I've seen anyone. They are there to support you and you're there to support them. So I think, for me, if I was to mention it, like number one, it's your attitude. The attitude and the way you approach things. Your attitude is everything.
Yep.
And I think that's not just for business, that's for life. Attitude's everything, because we can look at this glass here and this glass can be almost empty or it's still got a little bit in it. And it's all perspective. You approach that towards everything you do, from work, business, life, and you're going to see forms of success. Why? Because you're looking at things through a lens of positivity. And I think your attitude, positivity, and again, ego's got to be gone. You're going to stuff up. You're going to make mistakes. If you can lean on your resources and you can have an open mind and then just be willing to do the work. I think work ethic is something that you cannot teach. I'm adamant now that you've either got work ethic or you don't.
No, they learnt it young somewhere else. I think you got to watch it. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. The work ethic comes from learning, and it's hard to reteach that to someone who's 16, 17, 18, who's already lived a life. You do learn it early. You have to.
It's got to be bred in you early.
Yeah, early. Yep.
Because I've seen some people who don't have it, and they actually want to be there.
Yeah.
But they just don't have
work
work
ethic. You can
ethic.
winch a bit up. The Steve Jobs, he's analogy.
Winch a little bit. I'm
not a little bit.
Yeah.
But you got to have something there.
You got to want to be there.
To
me, I think you just got to want to be there.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to be there, you're not going to put in. And everyone's got various levels of wanting to be at work. Work is something for some people that We say it. I've said it many times. I love what I do. I love this industry. The industry cops a bit of flack being construction. I love what we do. I love the industry. I love the people you meet in the industry.
Yep.
I think it's a brilliant platform. But there's some days where some people don't want to be there.
Yep.
And that's hard. Everyone's got various reasons for going to work. Obviously, a lot of it stems from financial, protecting your family, wanting to be able to provide, all of that stuff there. Some people genuinely love what we do and what they do, and they want to work. I think that we're going to wrap into the next segment that I want to talk about today. And a big thing that you hear is this word culture. And what we've just touched on, there's a bit of culture in that.
Yeah.
What's culture mean to you? Because culture is a buzzword. Oh, company culture, team culture, culture. What's culture mean to you? What's the values of Proline's culture? And I guess, how do you think the culture is that you're establishing, and what makes it good or bad?
Yeah, it's hard to, like you said, it's hard to sit there and say, what's the culture? Yeah, well, ours is awesome.
Yeah, it's good.
What
I
makes
love
it awesome?
Yeah.
Proline culture is built on youth. You know, I've said it a few times. We've got 130 staff under the Proline banner, and 110 of them maybe are under the age of 35. We're very youthful. You look at all of our leaders, and they've all got the same traits. They're all young, they're fit, they're trained, they work hard. They play hard too. Yeah, they'll always play hard. But no one takes it too seriously. Like,
you have fun with it.
Obviously, when it's game mode, it's game mode. But you know, it's culture is built within. It's built from the top. It's how I am. I've said it 1,000 times. We're not a dollars and cents company. We want to build something long lasting. You have to be a good person. Number one, you just have to be a good person. And we can talk about the book, but I interview people that want to. Now we're established on site. I don't just hire people. I kind of only hire if they've been recommended and say, hey, you need to put someone like Billy Boy, who starts tomorrow.
Gee, I can't wait to talk about
I'll
Billy.
tell you that story in a second, which is
We'll
mind-blowing.
get into that, but mate,
I've got to interview them, and I've got to see if they're a good person, because we've had to let go really good people. Unfortunately, they don't fit in. Now, culture starts with Aaron Binder is at MLC at the moment. That's his job, his team. I can bring people to the table and get them a trial. But ultimately, Aaron makes the decision whether you stay or go, because he has to fit in with the site, the team, the culture. We work hard. We have a good time doing it. It's hard to put a exact word for word on what our culture's like, but it's on our wall. Challenge yourself, which is number one. We're here to challenge ourselves. We're not coasting. That doesn't happen. Find a solution, not a problem. It's solution-based first company. We move fast. That kind of wraps up Proline.
To me, it sounds like a positive culture.
It is. It's awesome.
Sounds like a positive.
If you
nothing being a problem, solution based, and I think that there is something that every sporting team, company, whatever team environment, you base it back to any team. Working in a team's hard. Working in a team's really hard because you're navigating different people's agendas, you're navigating different people's emotions, different people's egos, because there's the guy that wants to climb the ladder, but is he going to climb the ladder using you as a stepping stone, or is he going to climb the ladder because you just prop each other up?
That's great.
And I've seen some really horrible cultures in the industry where it's like, I'm going to bury this person because it elevates me. And that's short-lived and short-stemmed.
And you get found out quickly.
You get found out really quick.
Yeah.
And that is such a negative culture. And the reason I use the word positive is you're one of the most positive people that I've ever met. And you are someone that when we say dance in the storm, there could be a tornado and a blizzard going on around you.
Yeah.
And you will smile.
Yeah, bring it on.
Bring it on. And you will embrace all of it.
I like it when someone else will run away. I'll headbutt it.
Yes. You had one of the toughest weeks or one of the toughest fortnights probably in a long time. We spoke many times on the phone.
Yeah.
And it was a late phone call the other night. And you're like, I just got slammed today.
Yeah.
Bring it on tomorrow.
Yeah.
And that positivity does stem from the top. And that's something that little things that you do that infect positivity across everyone, that helps build a culture. Good people, good people.
But
You
they
need good
protect the
people.
culture. But so
Yes.
once you've established a culture, it starts when your first 10 people, your first 20, no matter how big you want to go. If you want to stay 10, whatever, but your culture's built around your first 5 or 10.
Yeah.
Then it is your job to police the top 3 or 4, policing the top 10 or 20.
gotta be an extension of you.
You can start the culture, but your actual the company then runs with it, expands it, magnifies it, and protects it. You can be very good at picking 1 or 2 out, but you can't when you've got 100 people plus.
Yeah.
How do you pick it until it's too late?
No,
It's you got to
sometimes you
trust
can't.
your leaders.
Sometimes you
trust your
can't.
leaders.
But it goes back to, for me, it goes back to just being, you genuinely care about the people that you're working with.
I love going
I
and giving everyone a hug.
genuinely-
I
yeah.
love hugging the apprentices, and you see all the site
Everyone.
managers. They looking at me going, halfway through a conversation with a site manager, that kid will walk past, bang, how are you,
Yeah.
Junior?
It's
He's happy, they're happy, and they're like,
but
'cause-
genuinely caring about the
Yeah,
people that
yeah.
work, for you, with you, and that's real. People feel that.
Yeah,
Because you know
it's
what?
awesome.
I hate hearing, and you hear it on big scale, and sometimes it's hard. Different size businesses. We've never been to the size of some of these businesses. I don't think we ever will. The facade game doesn't allow you to have 1,000 or so on like some of these other bigger companies. But I hate hearing we're just a number. And I never want that to be part of the complex culture.
Yep.
Everyone's valued, and the value might be a short stint, it might be a long stint, it might be situational. And I think that if you're open, honest, and transparent with everyone, and you have that communication line of just being a genuine good person, tell you what the truth is and what the truth's not. I think that there protects the culture for everyone, because you're not going to please everyone, but what can you do other than be honest and transparent with the situation you're in?
Yep.
And I think that builds a really good culture of just good people, because the negative bad eggs, and there's bad eggs out there, the negative bad eggs can ruin it for everyone else.
You know how I know your culture's great as well? Because we've obviously, when we're up and down with work, we the boys, we give them the option.
Yeah.
I'll say, hey, and this is the best one. Recently, it was a couple of months ago before you started Y7. I said, guys, I'm quiet. We knew March was going to be chaos, but Jan and Feb was a bit iffy.
Yeah.
I sent a message
I
out
was pumping.
and you were screaming, which
I was
it's awesome
pumping.
how it works. But I sent a team a big message. Hey guys, like we're not really that busy, and I love the hours. The team love the hours, and when we're not busy, we're just doing standard hours. If anyone has an opportunity or wants to go on holidays, or take it now, and 2 or 3 guys go, bang, we'll go back to complex, and it just works. That's how you know your culture's awesome. If they will ring you straight away and say, I'm looking for a job, I'd love to come back. Is that not a double green tick saying that we're building something well? From an outsider, I'm not just an
definitely.
outsider. I know a lot about your business and your people. But if, say it was Jimmy the King over there, and he hears that, you
Jimmy is the
automatically want to go and work for someone, do you not?
100%. I could reciprocate that. We talk about Chris McMillan and
Pence.
Little Pence, and having the chat with him when we were discussing, what his future was going to be after he had his kid, and he's like, mate, I love Proline. I love Complex, but I love Proline. And he said, until they don't have much work, I want to stick here because I love the boys. I go, mate, awesome. I love hearing that.
Yeah,
and then
enjoy
the
it.
situation popped up where, it timed itself well, and that there is awesome. And we'll do it again.
And vice versa, one of the other boys love putting facade in.
Yeah.
I don't do facade. That facade. I do facade, but not facade, whatever.
Don't do windows.
I don't put windows in.
windows.
Yeah, that's right. Tell all the CAs out there, I don't put fucking glass in.
Hey, you know what you do? You do GRC. Now you do.
And the best sort of GRC. Yeah, good. Well, culture's massive to both of us, obviously. I told you 1,000 times I'd do this for free because I love it. I love coming to work. I love walking in, high five and hugging, kissing everyone. It's my thing. If I'm very lucky, I get to hire and fire people. If I don't like someone, I'd rather not spend my day with them.
Yeah, exactly. You just want people you want to be around.
Yeah.
And, mate, you celebrated your wedding, your brother's wedding, lots of family events with a lot of the people that you work with, and I've done the same.
Oh, my God.
They are family.
The phone calls of project managers back in Melbourne when we're all
Gee,
in
it's hard to
Bali.
run a job when we're all in Bali at your wedding, isn't it?
Jesus.
So, going on about holidays, You
Yeah.
hate holidays, and I know you hate holidays.
I don't hate them. I don't like them.
You don't like them, but they can
like-
produce some magical things. And I'm going to go on to what they've produced, and I want you to tell us about it because this is super personal, but also, mate, I could not be prouder of you for doing this. When you told me you were doing it, I was like, how the hell are you putting this together? But talk to us about this. I'm going to put it on the camera there.
The book.
This is the Proline book. What got us here won't get us there. This is now my copy.
That is
I'm
your
taking
copy.
this home with me. I want you to tell us a little bit
Why I
about
did
the
it?
book, why you did it, what got you here, and mate, what have you learnt from writing a book?
So the book is called "What Got Us Here Won't Get Us There." So it's essentially, I took the girls to Japan, and I'm alright on holidays. If I'm busy, I've got to be busy. So the girls were shopping, and that absolutely does my head in. Just wandering, doing nothing, does my head in. We have to be achieving. We have to be achieving something. So they're shopping. They're in the 75th Mecca store or Zara or Cara or whatever it is, and they're in the corner. And I'm sitting on the steps, and I obviously love AI. I speak to it. I go nuts on it. And I literally spoke like this and said, I am bored. Let's do something together. And it gave me a few options. And one was write an ops manual for Proline. Mickey Mouse.
I like
Option A. Let's go. So it then prompted 50 or 60 questions about the business, about where we are, what we're doing. And as I'm answering the questions, I'm speaking. So this is day one. I clocked up 6.5 hours speaking on the phone to this thing. Day one, bang, 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 talking. We're walking on.
The definition of chewed its ear off.
I chewed the phone's ear off, right? And after 6.5 hours, I had 11 chapters ready to rock, dot points, scripts. And then I went back in and did chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. Now, it's all about what got us here is not going to get us there. Proline's growing very fast. We're now in bigger tiers. We're doing bigger jobs. More people, more risk. But it's essentially, and now to be a part of Proline, not just part of Proline, if you want to be a leader at Proline, like Billy Boy the other day, you know, he's just won high rocks. He's a freak. I'll tell that story in a minute. But he said, I want to grow, I want to learn. I've had a business, you know, it was up, down, left, right, but I want to grow as a leader. And I said, well, if you want to be a leader, you've got to read this book. And then it's one-on-one with me, and I'll pick you apart because I've read it 15 times.
You read it, wrote it, edited it, the
Well,
whole lot.
So, you know, I laid it out, and then I printed it in Word copy. Then I just reread it, rewrote it, added, subtracted, gave it to Aaron, who's my senior PM. I go to him for a lot of things like this. He read it, gave me some tips, redid it. Now, I've given all my leaders this book. I said, take it, read it, mark it up, give it back to me, so when I go on holidays this year, I can write volume 2. Those holidays shit me. So it's about how to become a leader, what I need in a leader to perform. Proline is a performance-based company. If you want to work hard and you want to work fast, Proline's a place for you. If you don't, maybe it's not the place for you. There's lots of places, but that's down the road. You want to go hard, you want to work hard, here is a place to get things done.
That's
you want
a
to achieve
platform.
things. It's a platform.
That's
So it's all about our operating standards is culture drives success. 11 chapters. It's got the pillars of our leadership, what we got, how we got here with who we got here with, and where I want to take the company. You know, it's very laid out. It's got my targets, got my plan. So my leaders have been reading it. A few other guys, a few other business owners that have come out and chat with me, I've given them copies. Ethan from B&E, he's a champion. He sent me a photo of him like this going, I'm ready to run through a brick wall. So
That's great
it's got
feedback.
and then the last time I read it, I went through and I underscored all of my favourite sayings and all the...
Oh, there's a few sayings in there.
There's 2
There's a
pages, you
few.
know. So here's one of the references. 80% done with conviction beats 100% perfect done too late. So it's about the 80-20 rule. Just move. I don't need it perfect. I just need it done. Like just, you know,
Decisions.
trying to get everyone.
Decisions.
And what we're going to do is we're going to try and turn this into short-form training modules. I sent the first chapter to one of my mentors, the wizard, and he said, great, but people don't read that shit. He said, learn how to turn it into a short-form training videos, which is what we're doing in the background. So I'm trying to find the best way to do that. I will do that. But now to be a leader, you have to read it. You have to read the book, and it's just simply, we're going this way. Do you want to jump on the journey? It's not halt. No one's got a gun to your head. You don't have to be here. But if you want to be here and you want to be a leader, that's what I expect. And there's no grey areas anymore.
It's there. It's in front of you.
And it kind of explains that there's no more tiptoeing. I said to one of my young leaders who's gunning for a site manager, and he's like, I've been doing this for a while. I said, yes, you have. But we're tier 1 now, and you haven't got any runs on the board. Mind you, our main guys have got no runs on the board yet. You know, we're getting a few runs, right? I said, but I don't care what happened 5 years ago, because that's completely different.
That's
different
done.
tiers, different builders, different scenery. Now you're on a tier 1 job. Now you need to run on the board. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. We're a performance-based tick company.
Just keep chipping away.
If you can't
Keep
do
putting
green
points on the
ticks,
board.
that's right. And
your time will come.
we've got 20 young guys who actually want that
Their
spot.
time will come. They just got to keep putting points on the board. Don't rush the process.
Well, there's a great chapter in here explaining that the process of where Proline was and how people got promoted happened very fast. You have to, young company.
You got to fill the spots.
The spots are there now. Now you need to essentially take someone else's spot or wait for the company to grow harder. It's very, very hard. And we've got some unbelievable talent on and off site, but on site especially. And it's coming out in our work now. You know, there's not many people that don't know how we operate. And it's literally written in that book. So if anyone wants a copy, you've got to come and claw it out of my hands.
What'd you learn writing a book? Like what surprised you about, oh, wow, this I didn't think I could do this, or something that afterwards, were you proud of it? Obviously, you're going to be proud of it. This is your brain on a piece of paper and in a book.
Yep.
Like, what'd you learn from it? What surprised you? What enthused you? What fired you up after this one?
Absolutely nothing, to be honest with you. Absolutely nothing.
Everything you knew. You knew what was coming. You knew what was there.
I've said it 100 times.
Yeah.
The only way to learn is to teach someone else. By me writing this down, all I did was grab everything I want to do and put it on paper.
Yeah.
I would have done it without the book. It's all I want. You got to want it. But just putting it on paper, like the business coach. Business coaches are great, but for unbelievable operators and founders, there's not much they can teach you. They're good to get your message out to your team.
Yeah.
That's what an ultimate business coach, I believe, is. And I've only worked with one, and he's a superstar, Greggy. But what he does is learns my style, where I want to go, and then lay it out on a platter that people can understand. Because it's hard to get information. And I'm not the best communicator to my team. I'm hard, fast, read my brain, or fuck off, I'll get someone who will. Now, I'm not that ruthless, but the business coach will grab that and lay it out in a training way for your team. And that's what I tried to do with this. So 12 months working with a business coach kind of showed me that if I can say it to myself, to my phone, and it was about 20 hours of speaking, and there's 20,000 words in it. And then I reread it 4 or 5 times, marked it up, and then probably, 7th or 8th time said, yep, this is the one. Again, it's probably not perfect, but I don't care. Like, it's close enough, good enough. And then
it's 80-20.
It's 80-20.
It's
There's
80-20.
probably fucking serious spelling mistakes in there.
No,
But it was fun. It was
great.
really
And you
fun.
had
And I
fun with
urge
it?
everyone to kind of do that because, even yourself, we love writing shit down. We're notes.
Yeah.
We're notes and lists and phones. And by just doing something like that, whether you give it to your team or not, like this says, it says internal use only. Now, there's a few guys who have got it, but it was for me. And then it was laid out on a platter enough where I thought, you know what, the team can benefit from this. And if they don't, fuck, whatever.
But you know what you see also? You see where the gaps are. And we've had a long-standing training handbook, we'll call it. We've done a handbook, and it's not finished yet. And it's blurbs, it's points, it's my
How was
brain,
that?
it's other people's brains on a piece of paper.
Yep.
We've got photos, we've got examples, we've got do's, we've got don'ts, and I'm a big visual person. So for me, it's steps on every application that we have got within the company, from setting up an office. I've got a blueprint that the young man downstairs, Mr. Cam the man, helped me put together.
Yep.
And it is, I could give it to you and it'll show you step by step with visuals how to set your office up, what your whiteboard's got to look like, what you need, absolutely everything. And then we thought, let's extend that. And our version of the handbook, there is so many layers to it. It's not complete yet. And the problem about it not being complete is, you get to the point where it's like, I've evolved since that. So I've already updated. I've got revision already before I've even drafted it.
Yep.
But it's there. It's a visual and it's something that we've worked on. I can't wait to get it out. We've done something for our suppliers, which has worked great. Our design preferences, same thing. Brain on a page. Sick of doing the same thing over and over and over. And you're like, I have this conversation. I have it again. I have it again. You put it here.
Yep.
And you know what? It's like, hey, we've had this chat, but in case you need a revision, just have a look at this.
That's your bread and butter though, and that's the reason why I've asked you, and that's why you're mentoring Taylor. From an operations side, you're the best of all time when it comes to setting up these job sites and teaching Taylor where he is right now by getting that stuff
Systems.
into systems on a job site. Like honing into getting a job, screaming. That is your one wood, and that's why you and Taylor are spending a lot of time.
I love working with Tay,
because you can do that. The handbook is step by step on how to. I don't think I'm the best at that at laying out step A to Z like this. I'm more of a read this or don't worry about it, let's go. And I need to get better at that, and I will. And I think that these things help me.
But also
that's your bread and butter.
There's something that, mate, I'm the same. I'm like, I look at when you're in that mind, go, let's go. I'm like, I'll work on that. I pick that from you, and I'm like, I see you do that. And I'm like, I want to do some of that a bit more.
Yep.
But it's something that systems have been something that I've been drawn to because I'm a big believer that, yes, you do need functional personnel, but if you've got systems in place, then you're not relying on individuals. You're relying on people to follow a system. And in every big chain, there's a fabrication line that is just systems. And it's how do you have a fab line going 24 hours a day? You've got systems in place because when the day shift finishes and they hand over to the Arvo shift and they hand over to the night shift, those systems are what keep going. That's what keeps the cog churning. Yep. It's not the people that are doing it. They play a part, but the systems is what driving everyone. And if everyone can follow those systems or within that guideline of the system, I believe that you can do anything.
Yep.
And being able to lay that out's hard. It's definitely been something that I believe is a strength of mine. Being able to go to a volatile environment, which is site, and I think of it, I'm like, can we lay this out like a production line?
Yeah.
Because if you can lay it out like a production line, it just simplifies everything. Every person has their role to play, and they just go into that system, and it's just tick, tick,
I
tick,
love
tick.
systems, but I challenge the flexibility of them because they fucking slow people down, man. They're great. They need to have some flexibility. Just from
everything's got to be flexible.
And I punch on with everyone about
Everything's got to be flexible.
And everyone tells me, yeah, but you need a system. I said, awesome. Tell me about the company you've run.
Till you get smacked in the mouth, and then your system goes out the window.
Goes out to shit. So I love them.
And you have to be able to troubleshoot.
I love a loose system.
Loose system. Nothing can be Bible because you know what?
Bible kills people.
Kills you.
It slows you down, and speed wins in our game.
But even not just slowing you down, it'll roadblock you, and roadblocks are the killer. Roadblocks stop everyone.
Stop flow.
You need to problem solve. You need to be able to go, yes, this system's working. It's not. All right, I've got to pivot. And it's just going into, we'll start looking into a bit of rapid fire. And I want to talk rapid fire because there's a few things that we just want to get bang. Mm-hmm. But before we do, mate, tell us the Billy story. It's a great one. And we really wanted to talk about it on this pod because not only could this be an absolute better person for this to happen to, Billy's a superstar, great man, great family. I admire him greatly. My message to him was I said, mate, you are a superhero to so many people in the gym setting that I met you in. Him and his wife Zoe are idols to a lot of the people in that space. He is just the definition of a good human. He's a good man. He's a good husband. He's a hard worker. And this story is amazing.
This story is nuts. So I think Billy Boy is going to shake up the Proline leadership.
I hope he does. I hope he does.
I think he wants to go for it. So, like I said, to be a part of Proline now, I need a recommendation. We don't need guys. We make do. I'd rather keep it lean and mean and give the guys the hours, right? They deserve it. They've worked their ass off. We built through the tiers together. They deserve it. But when someone says you need to put someone on, typically I make way, right? And you rang me. You come with me to MLC 2 weeks ago to look at the GLC before it was coming, and you rang me and said, hey, there's this bloke from the gym, Billy Boy, had a cladding business and roofing. Went up, down, left, right. Got swallowed up by the tier threes. Those contractors who don't pay. We both work for hundreds of them, which is tough. Doing it now, I don't know how they do it because it nearly put us under a few times working for those peanuts. But anyway, it was a challenge for him. He's obviously High Rocks now Australian champion. He is a machine, and obviously he goes, I just need to get back, get on a good wage, and work with someone who wants to work and work hard. So I said, well, you have to come and see me because I know. Well, first you text me. You put him in a group text. I named him Billy from Proline straight away.
Instantly.
Sent it back to him. I go, you start Monday.
I warned him too. I said, Bill, I'm going to see Jake now.
Yeah.
It was a Saturday.
Yeah.
We just finished training together. I didn't see Billy for a little bit. And gave him a big hug, had a bit of a chit chat, and it stemmed from I think it stemmed from the first podcast, one of the shorts. And he said, mate, if there's an opportunity, I just want to put product in. He goes, I want the stability for me and the family.
Music to our ears.
I said, mate, I'm going to see Jake now. I said, be prepared to start Monday. Not a word of a lie. The message was screenshot of you saving his number, Billy Proline. You start Monday.
So he come in for a meeting. It was Tuesday or Wednesday, and obviously I'm busy. I said, listen, mate, you get 10 minutes because I'm screaming. So he walked in, big boy. I'm looking up at him like this. And I'm in the coach's box. I'm yelling, screaming. I'm on the phone to you, screaming about something. And he sits down quietly, have a chat with him, threw the book at him. I said, you got to read this over the weekend. Tell me, and he wrote, he read it on the plane to Beijing because he was overdoing his high rucks comp that he ran 60 minutes, the freak.
An hour 25, first overall. Good on you, mate.
And how's that? If I did it, we've got Lockie Rayner walks in, his brother's a footy player, walks in, 6'3", big, walks up, this is a couple of years ago, walks up, gives me a hug, I go, you start on Monday.
Yeah.
Goes, what? Lizzie goes, why? Anyone that can play AFL can work for Proline because it means your mindset.
There's some fundamentals.
You've got fundamentals, and it's just clear as day. Same as Billy Boy walks in, chopped up, athlete. Started before he even said yes, but I sat down and we went through it all. Had a big chat, and it worked for us, worked for him. So he starts tomorrow, but we walk out, and my office manager, who's my mum,
Anya Tanny.
Tan, this is Billy, yada, yada. Everyone says hello, has a chat. Here, met Claude. Walk down. 3 hours later, Billy sends me a message. Hey, mate, really pumped, want to go. So I grabbed him, screenshot it, put him in a message, my mum in a message, and Taylor in a message. Hey, Tan, here's Billy, wants to start, get him sorted, let's go, everything going. Yep. Here's his name. Tanya goes, who's your mum? Such and such. He goes, fuck off. You're me cousin. I said, well, you're not in the clear because I've sat cousins before, so you better bring the noise on Tuesday.
You better bring it. Mate, he texts me afterwards.
How's the blood that runs
through?
through?
Mate, I said, that'd be right.
Big shoes
that'd
to
be
fill,
right,
man.
that bloodline, that'd be right. I said to Bill, he texts me, he goes, mate, thank you so much for the opportunity. I said, mate, I can get you to the table. What you do is, it's up to you after that. Yeah, that's right. But I said to you as well, I said, mate, if training is anything to go by, he is consistently the hardest worker in every room I've been in him with. And the funny thing, he goes, you wouldn't believe it, we're cousins. It's just brilliant, and it brings back to the whole.
How good's that?
The whole culture, the whole family, the whole mate. It's awesome, and it's great to be able to just have that opportunity with people.
Yeah,
and bring
pumped
people
for him
together.
to start, man.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna he people like you just know he'll fit in. Good person.
Yeah.
Got a sense of humour. Wants to work hard. You're in the right place. You
Yeah.
want the hours?
They're there.
You want to work?
They're there.
So Taylor's already snagged him. He goes, yeah, well, Billy Boy's with me. He goes, I'll take him to deep water.
Yeah, well, when Tay heard hardest worker, he goes,
watch this.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Bring that.
Correct.
All right, let's move on. Bit of rapid fire, mate. I got a couple for you. You'll have a couple for me, and then we'll look at wrapping things up for today. Favorite project and why?
My favourite project, and Mickey's going to love the plug here, is Botanica. That big thing on the wall out there, the VM shingles. I've posted a million times. That was for Mick, custom clad. He's a legend, mate. Custom Clad have been going a long time, and I've kind of built my whole business around how they scaled through the tiers and fabricate your own goods, supply and demand, So I'm very thankful to have a crack from Michael, getting a chance on that job. And he's an operator. He's been around, 15 years. So, you learn from people like that. That's definitely my favourite job. I drove every day at MLC. I get to drive past it and on the way home, and it's just an awesome product. I put some of them in myself with Ryan, with the team. One of the first jobs that got us on the map, and a really cool architectural project. What's your favourite project and why?
It's hard to go past Australia 108. It's
well,
yeah.
Cut mine out.
Yeah, it's really hard to go past Australia 108.
Shit, I forgot you did that.
Yeah, I haven't. I think.
Go on.
I think just it's a landmark.
Yeah,
it is a landmark in the Australian sky.
Multiplex put a big post about it on LinkedIn.
They did.
Cracker photo.
I reckon.
250,000 people follow Multis on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Got a nice little plug there.
I'd like to get 250 following Behind the Facade very soon.
Yeah.
But Jim got some great photos of 108. And
you sent me a video of you pulling Facade through the clouds.
Yeah.
We need to get that video up on his LinkedIn
Jim,
one
we'll
day
get the video
because
up.
that is incredible to watch.
We did some amazing stuff there, and I think there's so many stages to 108 because it was well and truly ahead of its time from a structural point of view. There was 3 levels in 108 that no one will know about, that you had zero access to the floor itself because it was a stabilizing floor. So we're talking concrete pours of beams and structural walls that were 3 meters wide, and they just spanned 3 levels. And that was to brace the building so that when high winds come, it was so that first 70 floors below the starburst, first 70 floors, you've got your conventional build. This stabilized the whole top. So it just anchored the whole building, tied back to the core.
Wow.
Just unbelievable stuff. I've got some photos. They had these massive Rio couplers like this that were from Germany, and you literally put it on the steel. The steel was 150, I think. You put it on the steel and you spun it by hand, and it was calibrated
perfect
to a T, and that coupled the Rio to brace it all together. It was incredible.
We need Jim on the next one of them, man.
It's just from a point of view of some shit you've just never seen before. The Starburst. We're talking we are lifting 20-ton steel and curtain wall pre-cladded in Monesco's yard, and we're lifting it at the middle of the night, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and it is just sailing up the Melbourne skyline. And I've got some incredible videos that, Jim, we're going to have to put on here.
You got to get them all and then collate because that
of just
incredible.
Floating these panels in, and the crane crew, the rigging team, everyone involved did such a phenomenal job. But just watching it, and it is just, it's mind blowing. The enjoyment level was so high. There was also periods where it was, hey, we're doing 70 levels of rinse repeat, and the first 70 were rinse repeat. To get the morale up for the boys was quite difficult when we got to about level 40.
How many years ago for?
We were on it for about 5 years.
That's what I'm saying. It's a big job.
And it was stages to it, but it's still my favourite job, and I look at it and I smile.
It's on everyone's capability statement. I think it's Vitragil. It's lucky it's not on mine.
Yeah.
You're lucky I wasn't there.
Did you cork any of that?
Did you look at me going, is it on yours?
I got business cards made.
If I walked it just to view it, it would have been on my fucking front page. But you see, like Vitragil, we do a lot of their panels, and it's on there. It's on it's everywhere. How would it not? You're lucky it's not on mine. I would have painted it on the fucking roof.
Well, you still can. You still can. You just get in there somehow. Just do something.
I'll do
a maintenance.
I'll do a defect.
Yeah, do a defect. So many stages to that I enjoyed. The podium, the louvers at the back, the planter boxes, the infinity pool that's got the stick glazing. It's just, there was every element to that. There was just so much fun. The canopies and skylights at the top. Just an enjoyable project, and it's a landmark. I love that one. What do we think of Hardest project and why?
Hardest project, mate. I'm in the thick of it now.
I was going to say MLC is going to be up there.
Putting this GRC is hard. Not massive, but just hard because I'm learning things that I've never done before. I've done a couple of reclads. They were tough. But they're never tough that you don't know what you're doing. They're just tough because of site restraints, access, and that's this GRC here. Yeah. The project changes, the timeline changes, the access changes. You're trying to get 4 or 5 different suppliers, elements to work well, and then you get it there, and then it rains. Tough to get this one going, but I'm sure in 2 weeks when we speak, I'll have it wrapped up and say, no, it wasn't that bad. It's tougher in the thick of it. That was a hard project. My first couple of small roofing ones were pretty tough, just fish out of water, landing on everyone.
And I guess you just answered why they're tough. It's familiarity. It's not having the reps, and it's taking a punt, and it's having a crack.
Yep.
And I think you'll look back on a few of these roofs and you might do 10 more GRCs and you'll look at it and go, it's easier. But I'll reassure you, I've been there with you and I've done a few of them now. They're still tough.
They're good though because they're fun. They're fun, but they're just hard to get it going.
Yeah.
But then you learn the most from those ones. It's back to the 80-20 rule. I said to everyone, if you're doing 80% of your bread and butter, give yourself 20% to try something. Don't go and try selling cars down the road because you'll fuck that up. But like, GRC, it's part of it. So I'm not going to try glass on what I do, but this is a custom cladding. It's just a different system. So we'll try one. We're very, very skilled and we've got great people. And Steele, Tommy, yourself, we're all out there learning, getting it right because every single one's different. It's different. You can do GRC on this side of the street, that side, different system, different supplier. So it's completely different. I've said that a lot. Find the people and then build around them because good people will figure things out, figure systems out. And if a new system comes to the market, they're just going to go to people who can work it out. Hence why we're here. GRC is relatively new. There's not many people that do them. Lucky enough to be able to have a crack. But you learn the lessons from the hard jobs.
Panels. I said that to you when we were looking at it. I said, look, let's not get overwhelmed with the fact that it's GRC. Yes, there's intricacies to it. Just break it down to basics. This is a panel that we're hooking onto a bracket or we're bolting onto a bracket.
Yep. First panel, 8 hours. Second one, 4. Third one, 2.
We've doubled.
We've chopped it half.
We doubled our productivity.
Correct.
Every single panel
we want to get 5 or 6 up on Tuesday, and then you average it out, and you're probably 3 panels a day, 4 panels a day,
and
big ones.
And they are the. I mean, those edge beams, you will slap them on really quick, and that'll get your averages up. But yeah, the challenging parts are just familiarity and stuff that you haven't done.
Exactly right. What about you? Hardest projects?
I think the hardest one for me. From an install point of view, it would have to be NAB, the fishers at NAB in Docklands. Yep. So Multi's job, we got there, it was contract glass Uanda again, and it was just familiarity. I mean, that is not just crazy. It is a really intricate, and when we do, Jim will get some photos up of that too. It's a twisting, spiraling, turning, raking facade, and it's just a feature along Docklands. Many reasons why it was difficult. We were doing some massive hours there. It was just super, super intricate and no one had ever done it before. So that there I found hard from actually putting it together. I was on the tools there. I was installing the panels and we were trapped on panels for, it could be a whole day for one panel. I found that really hard. From a management point of view, one of the harder ones I've been a part of is the project we did in Queensland, just because it's so simple, but you don't appreciate the network you've got in the state you grew up in and where your bread has been buttered. Stuff as simple as, I was a young kid managing a job in Queensland, a Lend-Lease project for SRG, and just not having a tool shop you're familiar with, not having a steel fabricator that can knock up some dollies and trolleys for you, not knowing where to go get your bits and shits, and just Googling everything.
That's cool.
While still needing to be the guy that's the main man on site.
Pushing product and installing. I found that challenging, and there was many 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Bunnings trips just to collate the stuff for the morning, and it was, mate, going through drawings at night. But from management, that was hard, just fish out of water. I
I don't think any projects are like really, really, the work is not that hard. It's always situational. Sometimes a job's really hard because the budget's not what it needs to be.
Yep.
But yeah, those two were probably the hardest two that I've done.
Nice.
Yeah. What lessons have you learnt from failing, and what lessons have you learnt from succeeding?
Failing's easy. Just move fast. Move on, learn fast. We've got a level up group in our company for leaders, junior leaders, people that want to become a leader one day. Lessons learned, good and bad. When we do fail at a scope or when we miss something, I push everyone to put it in that. Even the good ones, Hey, we're cutting Rymex and there was this wax that goes on a saw blade. Great idea. Put it in level up. Teach everyone else. And now we're doing lessons learned for every project. So MLC, JRC, everything we're learning fast. Get the surveyors early, engineering early. We'll put that. And it's not a failure, but it's things that you could have done better.
Yeah.
So failure is a harsh word, but things that you could have done better. We don't lose, we learn. That's how we push.
You win or you learn. That's a big philosophy of mine. You win or you learn. You only fail when you quit.
Yeah, you just got to document it so you don't do it again. Only a fool makes the same mistake twice. It's the best saying of all time. You're allowed to fail. It's how you learn fast. So moving fast is from failing. That's number one. From succeeding at jobs is trying to appreciate it and pushing that through the business and documenting why you succeeded and trying to amplify it. I listen to Alex Hormozy every time I wake up at 1 a.m. in bed, and his whole thing is find something you're good at and push that button 1,000 times.
Keep doing it.
You find something that you're successful at. If you win a project, you win a scope, you do well.
You study it.
You get 5 GRC panels on day 3 in.
Yeah.
Why? How? Push that button 1,000 times and teach your team how to push that button. That's
Well, you
what
can't
learn.
push the Daniel button on Tuesday.
Well,
it's
going to be hard. It's going to be
You
hard.
got me on Sundays, mate, but not Tuesday.
Well, next Saturday, Sunday, we're locked in.
You've lined up every every Sunday, till
100%.
Christmas for
You're
me.
still paying off the caveat Christmas, my man. So,
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
what about yourself? Lessons.
Failures? Don't do it again. Move on.
Yep.
Move on quick. You gotta have a short memory in your failures where you just got to move on. You're gonna stuff up. You're gonna make mistakes. As long as a big thing, as long as you don't hurt someone, as long as you don't cost the company millions or hundreds of thousands, where you're gonna bankrupt the company, we can fix it. Don't do it again, and move on quick. Don't hang on to that mistake, mate. You know what? You fuck up. You cut a panel that was a finished product, and you nick it a little bit, and you're like, shit, fucked up here. What am I gonna do? You move on. Hey, you own it, mate. We've had panels where I'll never admit this, but they may have been broken by us, allegedly, where glass panels may have been broken by us, allegedly. And, mate, I see it crumble some of the boys to the point where they're distraught. And I said, okay, mate, move on.
You're
move
allowed.
on.
You're allowed to learn.
You're allowed to. Study why you did it. Move on.
Yep.
It's a mistake. Put your hand up. Own it. One thing I can't cop through failure is denial. I cannot cop failure and denial at the same time.
Accountability, mate.
Accountability. Do not deny, mate. I owned it, and I credit people who can do that. You go a step here in my book when you can own your mistakes. What I've learnt from success can ruin you as much as failure. And the reason why everyone is quick to sit there and go, I failed, I'll get this right the next time. Gee, it's hard to find the things that you will start taking for granted and then stop doing when you keep succeeding. Because when you succeed, you don't look for it. You don't look for it because it's winning. It's success. You are getting productivity out of it. So what ends up happening? You don't study it as much. And then you don't study why you were successful.
That's great.
You take it for granted. The next guys take it for granted. And it's the little things. You stop doing the markups. You stop color coding it. Why? Everything's working. We're winning. And that can kill you more than any failure.
Slowly.
Quietly.
Quietly.
Slowly and quietly. So I've found that success can hurt you more
That's awesome.
if you don't study it. And don't take it for granted. You're not always going to be successful. You're going to take some blows. So like you said, enjoy it.
I'm going to message Claude after this and say, study the good ones. because it's literally something you don't do enough of. That's
Don't do
bang
enough
on.
of. You don't study the good ones because
The three good ones we've got.
three more
Jam
than
that in.
three more than some others. So you know what, you're winning. You're winning there. But yeah, that there's probably something that I've learnt.
Awesome lesson to teach people.
Yeah.
Study. We're so in tune in dissecting the shit out of the bad ones.
Yep.
Myself and Dylan, our head estimator, every once a week now we sit in here with Claude as well, and we pick apart 2 jobs a week. Obviously, I'm data, screws, levels, what we're doing good, what we're doing bad, and we build a book, we build a library, averages, where we need to be, where we need to price. We do that every week. Told a few mates of mine who are business owners, and they want to come in and sit on them, which is great.
Awesome.
Wish I had that, 3 years ago. But pick them apart, good or bad, and guess what we're doing tomorrow? We're picking apart, sorry, not tomorrow because we're hanging GRC, but for Thursday when it's pissing down rain, we're picking apart live ones.
Yep.
Because we can pick apart live ones.
Good.
Let's have a look now. We got the guys, I got the app every Monday. They're checking in their percentages, what they've claimed, what they've ordered. Let's pick apart how many hours on the scope on something that's literally getting built as we sit here. So that's awesome. Well, last time we said, what are we doing this month? And now we're only 2 weeks in, so
Yeah.
that's going to be hard to keep that flowing.
Well,
every week.
how's your 2 weeks gone from what you thought you would sort of hit? You wanted to.
Yeah, tough.
Yeah?
I've had a tough 2 weeks.
Yep.
Just hard operationally. We're in the thick of 3 or 4 big jobs. Now in 4 weeks, I'll be sitting here saying, we smoked them out of the park. We knew it was coming. We're in the middle of it. We've got the right people for it. We're just, we're doing a few scopes. Mind you, we're killing it, but it's just volume.
Yeah.
It's volume. So it's been hard to navigate while I've been on site, while I'm trying to do the fab shop. But we're going to sit here just after April and say, mate, we've knocked that first part of the year out of the park as a company, which I'm really looking forward to. But that's in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
In the middle, in the mix of it. So
We got till Easter. We're gonna talk again around the Easter time. That's the last 2 weeks. What's the next 2 weeks forecast?
these 2
Where
weeks.
do you want to be up till Easter?
Yep. Obviously, I want to knock that defence centre off, which we've blown that timeline out. We'll nearly have MLC knocked on its head, including new scopes we're doing. We're helping other contractors. We're partnering up with our client to knock this job at the park together.
Awesome.
We're one of the key players to get this thing finished. Now I'm working real close with Al to try and bring this home. And this is what we do. We do that for we've got a couple of key clients, and when you get us, you're all in.
Yep, bring it home.
So we want to bring these 2 home. We've got a big scope we're doing at the data centre, big scope, roof and cladding. And that's a big push. And I think in 2 weeks' time, we'll have that pretty close. So 3 big home runs the next 2
It's a good
weeks, 3
milestone.
weeks.
Good
It
milestone.
is,
Get
it
to
is.
Easter. I like a long weekend because there's always a milestone to get to.
Yeah.
A lot of builders, I don't know if they scope this into their programs, but they like these little checkpoints. Getting into the long weekends, but it's awesome.
And then I've got Easter where myself and Jacinta will be making perf panels here in the factory.
Fantastic.
She went away last Easter, so this year we're working.
Yeah, that's it. Done.
But we'll have a lunch or maybe 2.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
Mate, we're on track. We're doing really well. The team is just phenomenal. Couldn't be prouder of our group. We knew that we'd have a really big push to start this year. And I said 2 weeks ago, I didn't think we'd get to the milestone that I wanted. I think we're going to get there. So I'm wrapped.
You've had a few big raps about the jobs you're on.
Big days, few big raps. The biggest one, I'd really love to top out 100 Franklin Street and have all the facade in the main tower done, which we're on marker 4. Multi's team out there, Sheeds, Liam, they've been phenomenal.
Can you get out of the way so I can do my 3 pieces of cladding?
You've got some cladding to finish on that job there, so I'm trying to get myself muscled out. But yeah, to wrap that one up by Easter, Chompers will get it there. I'm wrapped for him to do that one. And
like Liam said, he just scoped me up for my marketing because I'll put that bad boy on the
Yeah.
statement.
He said he scoped you up for marketing and a lunch. So we'll tick off one of them by Easter. But yeah, big thank you to Maltese and the team there. They've been a massive help. Simon Sheedy, he's an absolute gentleman and a weapon. Liam's been awesome. I can't wait to continue working with him. So that's a big milestone I want to hit. Obviously, Y7 and Geelong, they are just ticking and humming. So I love what the guys are doing there. But I'd like to sit here in 2 weeks and hopefully maybe landed a project. We're in talks for one or two small ones. So that would be a nice little tick.
Nice.
But yeah, just keep doing what we're doing.
That's it, man. We'll
Yep.
knock it out of the park, and
We're gonna do this again in 2 weeks. Everyone who is listening, watching, please, like I said before, subscribe, like, big thumbs up, tick,
Maybe even give us a few things to chat about. That'd
blow
be
us
fun.
up. Few things to chat about. I mean, a few guys have sent some stuff.
When are we going to start bringing people on?
Mate, we'd love to bring someone
there's
on.
a list.
So, guys, send it
We need
through.
to put a few panels in so we can buy another mic.
Yeah. We might need to put a few GRC panels in. What are you doing Sunday? But yes, thank you to everyone who will listen to this one. And we'll be back in 2 weeks to do it all again.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
JG, thank you.
See you, man.
See you, bro.